Hello, Dice Gang! I've been away for a bit, but now I am back with a gift. I'm going to give you guys the ultimate damage calculator for D&D, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to use it. This is not just for grognarding. I think dungeon masters and players need to look under the sheets a little to know how the game works, so that they can enjoy it more and tell better stories. I find that players can relax if they know they are already performing optimally, and they can spend more energy on their storytelling. And DMs can pace their game better if they know how many hits on average for the players to finish the mobs. So I think this program is just really useful. All you need to do the calculation is your browser and the links to the Anydice programs in the description below. But before we go into that, I would like to tell you something about our sponsors for this video, Campfire. World building is a lot of hard work. Whether you're a dungeon master or a budding writer, you would know that you often waste too much time organizing stories and spend too little time doing actual writing. Speaking from experience here, folks. But organizing stories don't have to be hard, because Campfire Pro's got tons of tools that can help you do that. Campfire Pro is a writing software. It lets you track character details, arcs, and backstories. It's got timelines that can help you hammer out plot points. You can track character arcs and even use the map view to create all the locations you need. With the new expansion, World Building Pack, you can even get more tools to help build your story's world. It lets you create new races, species, items, magic systems, and develop your cultures with religions, philosophies, and language with this massive bundle of features. You can get Campfire Pro with a one-time purchase of $49.99, and it is $74.98 with the World Building Pack. Trash those extra Word documents and spreadsheets. You can keep everything easily accessible with Campfire Pro. The link to that page is in the description, so click on it to learn more. Okay, back to damage calculation. First, a disclaimer. I am not a programmer, so this code can be a little messy, so sorry about that. But you don't need to be a programmer to follow along, you just need to know how to type. If you use the link to the basic damage calculator below, you will see this page. If you click calculate on the bottom here, you will see a bunch of bars with percentages on the horizontal axis. It basically breaks down your chances of dealing certain amount of damage with attack ability modifier 3, proficiency plus 2, and 1d8 damage dice against enemies of armor class 15 to 20. So there is 57.5% chance to miss and do no damage, and 4.69% chance to do 4 damage, and so on. This is not very useful, but if you change the display to summary, then you can find the mean, or the average. So for every attack, the average damage this character does to enemies of AC 15 to 20 is 3.41 points. The average is higher when you've got an advantage because you miss less. And if you go to the At Least Data tab, then you see the numbers arranged in this way. 0 damage has 100% because it means that your chance of dealing 0 damage and above is 100%. Then 4 damage or above is 42.5%. Your chance to deal 10 or above is 13.2%, and so on. So that's a basic interpretation of the data. Now I'm going to explain how all the pieces work. This part here is just the title and the name of the program. Whenever you see the text between the forward slashes, it means that it is a comment and it's not part of the program. Now down here in the edit here section, we set the variables for the attack. Ability mod is for the relevant ability modifier. It could be strength or dexterity depending on the weapon. Damage bonus is for extra damage that doesn't increase accuracy, like +2 damage if you've got dueling fighting style. Proficiency, you know what this is. Accuracy bonus is for extra accuracy without damage bonus. It's like the archery fighting style. Crit roll is for the lowest number for critical activation. 20 is the normal value, nat 20. But if you're a champion fighter, then you can lower it to 19 or 18 because they can get critical easier. Attack times is the number of attacks you do. You can increase it if you want to attack twice or more. Damage is the amount of damage you do if your attack hits. This is where you input the damage dice, and all the other numbers above are added as variables. I would also add sneak attack dice here and in the critical damage section if I'm calculating for a rogue. Critical damage is a separate entry because half-orcs and barbarians roll extra dice on critical. Now, when we go to the output, we have 3 output lines. The first one is for normal attacks, the second one for attacks with advantage, and the third for attacks with disadvantage. You can delete the other 2 if you don't need them. What happens when you roll is that it would call on this attack roll function up here and check the result of your d20 against your crit roll amount, net 1 misses, and then against the enemy armor class if you've got something in between. The enemy armor class is set to a loop between the number 15 to 20, which means that it will compare it to AC 15 enemies, then it will re-roll for AC 16, 17, 18, 19, up to 20, and average the results. But if you want to compare it to specific armor class, like 16, for example, then you can just put 16 here. But I usually use 15 to 20 because it is the common armor class range for most enemies. You can play around with this a bit and experiment. In general, using this calculator, I discovered a few interesting things. We can see the massive difference just 1 point of ability point modifier can do. If you have a level 1 character with +3 attack ability modifier wielding 1d8 damage weapon, then you will do 3.41 points of damage. But if you only have +2 attack ability modifier, then you would only do 2.66 points. That is just 78% of the original. So just 1 point can make a massive difference for a starting character. Also, it is not worth getting the Great Weapon Master at level 1, because your average damage would actually drop. Using a Great Sword, it would go from 4.6 to 3.85 points. Obviously, it works better if your enemy have lower armor class. This feat isn't that useful for enemies with really high armor class too. For example, if you're trying to hit an ancient red dragon with your +5 mod and +6 proficiency, your average damage would fall from 6.35 to 5.85. This feat is only worth using if you have advantage. Using this calculator, I have graphed out the damage output for 3 martial classes according to their level: Monk, Rogue, Fighter. In this chart, none of them use magic weapons. The Monk used Quarterstaff, Rogue used Rapier, and the Fighter used Great Sword with Great Weapon Fighting. Since combat usually lasts about 5 rounds, I have calculated their average damage for 5 rounds. If they use all their features, you can see that the Monk's output keep increasing here because it's got more ki to spend each round. And at level 17, Fighters get 2 action surges, so in fact, their 5 rounds of attacking is the same as 7 rounds of attacking. So that is some food for your thoughts. Oh yeah, there is also a link to another program that calculates the damage for Fighter's Great Weapon Fighting style in the description. If you want to change the dice size, then you have to change the number here and here. There could be a more elegant way to create this function, but I'm not smart enough for it. Anyway, hope that helps. Ask me anything about the program in the comment below, and have fun. CJ over and out.